In today's video, we will delve into the mystery of the Sphinx, and you should definitely watch this video till the end. My request to you is to support me a little by subscribing to the channel. The year was 1400 BC. At this time, Egypt was under the rule of Pharaoh Thutmose IV. One night, while Thutmose was deep in sleep, he had a dream. In this dream, he saw a large lion with a human-like face hunting. Suddenly, the lion started to sink into the sand, almost as if the sand was swallowing it up. But just before it vanished completely, it asked Prince Thutmose to save it from the sand, promising that in return, it would make him the ruler of Egypt. Sometime after this, when Prince Thutmose IV had ascended to the throne as Pharaoh of Egypt, he ordered an excavation at the location from his dream. There, he unearthed a massive statue resembling the lion with a human head that he had seen in his dream. A statue we now recognize as the Great Sphinx. This colossal statue was several thousand years older than the pyramids of Giza. Pharaoh Thutmose restored the Sphinx and had it worshipped. To shield it from the eroding desert winds, he also had a tall wall built around it. However, just like the pharaoh, the engineers of ancient Egypt also pondered who exactly had constructed the Sphinx and what was its true purpose. For centuries, the Sphinx stood tall. Many Egyptians even worshipped it as a deity. But where did Thutmose IV's god come from, and how did it appear in the desert? According to archaeologists, the origins of the Sphinx date back to approximately 2700 BC, during the reign of the Old Kingdom of Egypt, one of the most powerful empires in ancient Egyptian history. This empire ruled Egypt for 500 years, until around 2200 BC, when civil unrest and widespread disease brought the Old Kingdom to its knees. As the Old Kingdom collapsed, the Sphinx seemed to be forgotten. Over the course of many centuries, it became buried beneath layers of sand. By the time Prince Thutmose IV had his dream in 1400 BC, the Sphinx had been completely engulfed by the desert sands. Though Thutmose IV restored the Sphinx over time, it once again faded into the background, overshadowed by the grandeur of the pyramids. Pharaohs focused on restoring the pyramids, while the Sphinx was largely ignored. After thousands of years of neglect, only the head of the Sphinx remained visible above the sands of Giza, while the rest of its body lay hidden beneath the desert. In 1817, the first serious effort to restore the Sphinx was made. Giovanni Battista Caviglia, along with a team of 160 workers, attempted to excavate the sand around the Sphinx. However, due to the lack of proper equipment, they struggled to make much headway. The sand was removed too slowly, and as they dug, it quickly refilled the holes. This made it impossible to fully uncover the Sphinx, and their attempt was unsuccessful. Later, in 1930, Egyptian archaeologist Salim Hassan led a larger team to try again to uncover the Sphinx. This time, they succeeded, and for the first time in modern history, the full statue of the Sphinx was revealed to the world. However, there were still many unsolved mysteries surrounding the Sphinx that most people were unaware of. In 1838, a volcanic rock near the Sphinx was found with a large carving of Pharaoh Khafra, who ruled Egypt around 2500 BC. Alongside this, several smaller statues were also uncovered around the Sphinx, a total of 24 pillars, each with small Sphinx-like statues at their bases. Additionally, a 433-foot-long limestone wall, buried for thousands of years, was unearthed. What was the significance of these discoveries near the Sphinx? In 1960, archaeologists from Harvard University examined the ruins found around the Sphinx and concluded that the statues belonged to a temple, where the Sphinx was worshipped as a deity. The temple was dedicated to the sun god, Ra, as evidenced by the 24 pillars representing the 24 hours of the day. Interestingly, during March and September, there's an astronomical phenomenon where the sun sets directly over the shoulder of the Sphinx. However, an even more remarkable discovery came a decade later. In 1970, a group of American tourists was passing by the Sphinx when, about a kilometer away, a female tourist fell from her horse after it collided with something solid buried in the sand. Upon closer inspection, they uncovered several small stone walls. When a team of archaeologists investigated further, they discovered that the site was a large burial ground from the Old Kingdom era, containing the remains of about 600 individuals, each marked with their names. Just 9 years later, archaeologist Mark Lehner uncovered several house-like structures in the area. After mapping the entire site, they realized this wasn't just a cemetery, but a whole ancient settlement. But one of the most mysterious discoveries occurred in 1926. During the excavation of the Sphinx, archaeologists uncovered a large tunnel on the northern side, right at ground level. However, at the time they paid little attention to it and soon filled it back in. But 50 years later, an elderly man who had worked at the site in 1926 told the engineers about the secret tunnel. As a result, the passage was rediscovered during the 1980 excavation and named the Ramp Passage. This time, archaeologists carefully mapped the tunnel and made several startling discoveries. The passage was divided into two sections, an upper and lower area, set at nearly a 90-degree angle. The upper section was located 4 meters above the ground and measured 1 meter in width and 1.8 meters in height. The lower passage led northwest and extended about 5 meters into the Sphinx. Another tunnel, called the Keyhole Shaft, was discovered in 1978. This tunnel was found at the back of the Sphinx during restoration work, but its purpose remains a mystery. The tunnel measured 1.4 meters in width, 1 meter in height, and 2 meters in length. Renowned archaeologist Mark Lehner proposed an intriguing theory. He suggested that the Sphinx, along with the nearby pyramids and temples, might have functioned as a cosmic engine, harnessing the energy of the sun and other Egyptian gods to grant eternal life to a deceased king, while maintaining the natural order of the universe. Though this remains a hypothesis, we cannot deny that many of the secrets surrounding the Sphinx and the pyramids of Egypt are still unknown to us, or perhaps deliberately concealed from humanity. I hope you found today's video fascinating and learned something new. If you did, please make sure to like the video and share it with your friends. Don't hold back on the likes. And if you're new to this channel and want to watch more intriguing videos, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.